Now, the Olympics might seem a long way away to you, but people are already talking about what new sports might be included. Today, I'm going to talk to two people who are hoping their sport might be included. The first is Johnny Mills, whose sport is wakeboarding. Johnny, can you tell us what wakeboarding is? Is it like surfboarding?
Well, a bit. It started in California because people wanted to surf but didn't have waves. It's also a bit like water skiing in that the rider is towed behind a specially built speedboat.
How fast does the boat go?
Usually at about 25 miles per hour or a bit less. The rider uses the wake the board produces in the water to launch into the air.
And then you do a lot of complicated things in the air.
That's right. Spins of up to 1,260 degrees, things like that.
1,260 degrees? That's impossible, isn't it?
Oh no, but it's pretty crazy. You spin round 3.5 times in the air.
And then you have to land again without falling over.
You'll have to come and watch some wakeboarding if you haven't seen any. Come to Wakestock in July if you can.
That's in Wales, isn't it?
Yep, Abersoch in North Wales.
Uh-huh.
It's a really popular wakeboarding and music festival. It's right by the beach. It's not quite the same as California, but it's cool. It attracts a lot of great riders.
Who does wakeboarding?
They reckon about 3 million people all over the world. More guys do it, but there are increasing numbers of girls too. The people who compete are usually in their teens or 20s, but anyone can do it. There's a lot of crossover with other board sports like surfing and skateboarding. The tricks people pull are similar, and the names for things are often the same.
And looking at you, I'd say the fashion was similar too?
Yeah, the clothes and the lifestyle are similar.
Right. Now I'd like to ask Jules Russell about her sport. She's a skater in a roller derby team. Tell us about that, Jules. Is it a popular sport?
Yes, it's becoming really popular in the UK. There are about 60 leagues in England and 1,200 throughout the world. In the US and Canada, of course, and places like Scandinavia and Australia, but lots of other countries too.
The sport began in the States, didn't it?
Yes, in the 1930s, but it was more for entertainment than sport, and it died out by the 1970s. There was a revival in Texas in 2001, and from then on it's just been growing and growing.
So, how do you play it?
Well, you have 2 teams of 5 people on roller skates, of course, and they go around an oval track in the same direction. Each team has a jammer who scores points by passing members of the opposing team. They do whatever they can to stop her within reason. The team with the most points at the end of the match wins.
Oh, it sounds a bit rough.
Well, it's a contact sport, so there's bound to be a lot of pushing and falling over. It's all good fun, though. People don't often get hurt. If you try and trip someone up, you get penalised. You do try and frighten the other team a bit, though.
That's right. You have frightening clothes and special names.
People used to have incredible costumes a couple of years ago. Now the sport is changing and becoming more professional. Lots of the teams train 3 or 4 times a week and spend a lot of time in the gym. You have to be really dedicated and fit. We still have nicknames, though. I'm the Julifier.
And is the sport all female?
There are a few men who do it, but it's mostly female and amateur at the moment. Things are changing fast, though, so who knows what the future will bring. It would be fantastic to be an Olympic sport.
What do you think about the roller derby, Johnny?
It's wild. Those ladies scare me to death. Good luck to them with the Olympics thing, though. And good luck to us, too.
Good luck to you both. Welcome to Tech Today. This week it's National Science and Engineering Week. So to celebrate, we asked Jed, our science correspondent, to give us a roundup of new inventions.
Hi, yes. I've got some very interesting things to tell you about today, starting with a fun one. Wingsuits. Those suits that look like bats and allow people to fly or glide at least. They're the ultimate in cool.
But they're not very new, are they?
Well, no, but the modern ones are better than ever, and last October was the first ever World Championship in China. The price is coming down too. Now you can buy one for $600 to $2,000. It's still too expensive for me, but I suppose it'll keep coming down.
OK, what about useful new inventions?
There are lots of those. There's a new solar water distiller created by Gabriele Diamanti, aimed at parts of the world where it's hard to get clean drinking water. You pour in salty water and let the sun do the work for a few hours. Then, hey presto, you have clean water.
Oh.
It's a very simple device and fairly cheap to produce.
Can I hear some doubt in your voice?
Well, they still need help with investment to start producing the distiller properly. So if anyone out there has money to invest in a great product...
Absolutely. Get in touch with the designers.
Another useful invention, which it would be good to see in production, are Enable Talk gloves. These were invented by some Ukrainian students to allow people with speech and hearing impairments to communicate with people who don't understand sign language. The gloves use sensors to translate sign language into text, then into spoken language using a smartphone. A brilliant invention.
Yes, that could benefit thousands of people.
Another useful invention comes from a surprising source. James Cameron, the film director.
The Titanic director?
The very same. Cameron was part of a team headed by engineer Ron Allam, which designed the deep-sea Challenger submarine, capable of descending to the lowest parts of the sea, 10 kilometres down. Last year, Cameron went down to the bottom of Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the sea in the world. He was the first person to do a solo dive there, and he stayed for 3 hours, the longest time so far.
Oh, that sounds impressive.
Yes, we know so little about what's at the bottom of the ocean, and it's important to find out more. OK, so now for something useful in a different way. You know that feeling when you're trying to get tomato ketchup out of a bottle and it won't come out? But you're sure there's lots more in there?
Yeah, of course. It's really annoying.
Well, a team of students at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, have come up with a new product that you use to coat a glass or plastic bottle, and then what's inside, hair gel or mustard or whatever, comes out really easily.
Oh, so it saves hours of frustration trying to get stuff out of bottles.
Exactly. Right, now for my favourite invention. This is really silly, but I love it. It's a way of producing clouds indoors.
Clouds?
Yes, a Dutch artist has come up with a way of forming perfect small white clouds inside. They're just beautiful. I don't think you can do it yourself at home yet, though.
I don't think I'd want to.
Oh, you would if you'd seen the photos. They're amazing.
OK, Jed. Thanks for that. We'll leave you with your head in the clouds and see you again next week.
Once again, the organisation which promotes Australia, Tourism Australia, is advertising the best job in the world. But this year, they have 6 jobs going, all for 6 months, with a great salary and extra spending money. If you think one of these is your dream job, you have to make a 30-second video explaining why you are the best person for the role. But be warned, thousands of people will be competing for each post. The job of outback adventurer is for someone with a passion for outdoor life. And in the Northern Territory, there are plenty of wide open spaces. The job is for someone to find out the best adventures and jobs for young people on working holidays. You'd be getting close to wildlife, sleeping under the stars in a bush camp, and flying over stunningly beautiful landscape in a hot air balloon. Your duties will include getting to know about Aboriginal culture and eating traditional bush foods, maybe including the famous witchetty grubs, insect larvae. Like the idea of 200 days of sunshine every year? Job number 2 is a park ranger in tropical Queensland. It's a wonderful state with ancient rainforests, the world's largest sand island, and the awesome Great Barrier Reef. Here, your duties would include protecting and promoting native plants and animals, spectacular waterfalls, dinosaur fossils, untouched beaches, and indigenous culture. You'd get paid to patrol the beaches of Lizard Island and live a life most people can only dream about. Another island job is as wildlife caretaker on Kangaroo Island in South Australia. If you love all kinds of animals, this is the job for you. The advert says you'll be able to talk to wallabies, a kind of small kangaroo, play with dolphins, cuddle koalas, and sunbathe with seals on the unspoilt beach at Seal Bay. You would get about the island on foot, by bicycle, kayak or boat, taking photos and leaving only footprints. There is one potential drawback though. You'd need to be pretty brave since you might come face to face with great white sharks. Maybe you are not quite so keen on the great outdoors and your talents are more journalistic. If you fancy feature writing, photography, and making videos, you can apply for the position of lifestyle photojournalist Time Out in Melbourne. You would be required to photograph and write about the city's coolest cafes and musical events. But you'd also cover tourist activities in the whole state of Victoria, including surfing on the Great Ocean Road, skiing at Mount Hotham, or watching the little penguins at Phillip Island. Are you a foodie? Do you know about food as well as love eating it? If the answer's yes, you can apply for the role of Taste Master in Western Australia. Your job will be to promote the best restaurants, pubs, wineries, and breweries. You'd also catch fresh seafood off the beautiful coast and learn all about making wine and beer. Finally, a fantastic job in Sydney. We've all seen those amazing firework displays in Sydney Harbour. Well, you could be one of the people making that happen next year. New South Wales is looking for a chief funster who would be based in Sydney while travelling around the state and tweeting about the coolest things going on. This job would appeal to someone interested in everything: sports, the arts, entertainment, food. You'd also be involved in making the Sydney Festival, Mardi Gras, and Vivid Festival as spectacular and as fun as possible.